Hi FLCH students, this is Mrs. Moore. I just wanted to touch base with you quickly on the Google activity you did on Tuesday. First and foremost, I want to apologize for the obstacles. In the past, we've had some access to YouTube during other years, we've had no access to YouTube. Sometimes we're able to have a workaround to get to YouTube. We had a training this summer on how to use it in the classroom, and so I assumed that the blocks were lifted and you'd be able to access it. So that's my fault for making that false assumption. And I apologize for any frustration you encountered. That being said, I did want to address the work that was submitted. Um, I looked through all of the documents that you submitted today, and I made comments on every single document that granted me permission to make comments. So for those of you who sent me or submitted links that were viewable only, you will have blank documents when you go back into your Google Drive and you find the assignment. It's not blank because I didn't see it or I didn't acknowledge it. In fact, I jotted notes to kind of remind me what you did and didn't do so that I knew kind of where you stood. But I could not give you any specific direction about what you needed to do to make the document better because I had no way to make those comments. For those of you who submitted it and gave me editing access, I went through each portion and I gave you feedback on the areas where you could still refine it a little bit more. And so many of you ended up struggling a little bit with MLA format. I would say that was probably one of the biggest struggles. And so I just want to direct your attention here. If you look at step 2, number 2, you'll see a quick video here to help you learn how to set up your document. But here you will see a link that takes you to an outside source, which shows you specifics about how to format an MLA document. That's vitally important. You'll need to know that for the rest of high school and all through college. I will expect you to write your papers in MLA format, so it's good to get a head start and learn that information now. And as we go down a little bit further, you'll see information here about titles. Most of you followed directions and titled your paper appropriately. Some of you did not. And so if you have comments about the title, make sure you're going back and visiting the directions, which ask you to title it with the best motivational saying. As you go down, there's a paragraph requirement, and most of you did a fantastic job with that. I really enjoyed reading your paragraphs, gave me insight into who you are, which was fun for me since I'm not in the room and I'm not getting the opportunity to interact with you in person. So for those of you who were genuine in your responses, thank you. It was fun to read them and to learn about you. For some of you, you did not include a paragraph at all. So for those of you who skipped that step, you're going to need to go back and make sure you add it. The second document, FLC Writing Collection, some of you with this document, some of you created it, but when you linked it, it linked me to a viewable only document. I need to have editing access to all of your documents. That allows me to make comments. It also allows me to see your revision history. So when you get a grade on how much work you put into revising your paper, I can go in and I can see all the work that you did. And so it makes your life a little bit easier in terms of keeping track of all of that information. If you do not grant me editing access and you don't learn how to set your settings to make sure that I have editing access, then I cannot see any of those things. And so I want to make sure at the very beginning of the year that all of you know how to do that. Then as we go down a little bit further, at the top of the page centered, you write your name. Some of you use this for the heading on your practice Googling form. If you notice, it's the heading for the FLCH writing collection. The reason this is not the heading for your Google Practice Googling document is because it's not an MLA format. If you notice, it's missing a date. And it's missing a date because this document is a document we will continue to update throughout the course of the year, so there is really no date that could go there. You will update it every time you turn a paper in. So I left the date off. But for papers that you turn in with an end point, you do need to put a date there. That's a good habit to get into. If you notice down here, number 8 is probably the step that most people need to revisit. It explains to you exactly how to fix your settings so that I'm able to edit your documents. It explains to you how to link from the first to the second document, and it's important for you to make sure that you have everything set up appropriately so that I'm able to view it. This is an important step to take. Also, if you look at step 3, I don't want you to resubmit your paper. So if you already submitted it to me through the Google form, there is no need for you to resubmit it a second time. Your document's live. So if you make changes, I can link to it. But there are some elements in this video that might help you if you're still having trouble with your settings. So you could watch that and get some pointers to help make sure that both of your documents are viewable. Some of you ended up sending me documents that were just the writing collection. So you didn't send the practice Googling document to me at all. And the practice writing collection said that it was viewable only. So I couldn't even tell you that it wasn't what I needed to see. So you want to make sure the first thing I should see when I open your link, I should see an MLA heading up here, a title, your paragraph. Beneath that, there should be a link to your writing collection. That's exactly how it should be set up. So if you could go back in and make sure that you do that. You have until Monday to make changes. For those of you who granted me editing access, I tell you exactly what you need to do. For the rest of you, you have just as much of an opportunity to make changes, but you're just going to need to go back through this document here and double check your steps. For the 13 people in period 6, the 9 people in period 7, and the 3 people in period 8 who did not submit the work at all. This is my push to you, my challenge to you to sit down and complete your assignment and work through the steps and challenge yourself to figure these components out. I know that the assignment started out as being a bit challenging in the computer lab because of some of the obstacles, but all of you signed up to take an honors class. So that means you are ready to jump in with 2 feet and embrace the challenges ahead of you to become stronger readers, writers, thinkers, and speakers. And the first step in this process is this assignment. And so I know that all of you want to make a good impression, and this is your chance to be able to sort of redeem yourself if you did not make an effort to turn this assignment in. So again, you have until Monday to do that. For the 5 of you who completed the assignment perfectly, I applaud you. I very rarely give extra credit. In fact, some years I don't give any extra credit at all. But because of the challenges of this assignment with all of the different elements that factored in, for those 5 students who were very careful in how they read the assignment, who watched the videos, who double-checked their work and turned in excellent work, I want to reward you with a couple of bonus points to start out this school year. So for the 5 of you, you have nothing further to do, and you will know at the end of your document because I tell you it's perfect. For the rest of you, I hope all of you go back and try to make your documents perfect. Each of these skills will have a role in assignments that are coming up later, and so it's important for you to master them now. If you have any questions, let me know. I intentionally did not put a grade on this because I think sometimes people get very caught up in scores and not in feedback. And so once you go back in and you address the feedback, then I will give you your grade on the assignment. Thank you so much.